In this episode we're going to tell you all about our dilemma over which van to choose. Well, it's another rainy day in paradise. We don't normally do toilet blocks, so this is a luxury. Here she comes. How are you doing? Yeah, lovely.
Yeah.
Get that door shut. Welcome back to the channel. We're Carol and Ken, and we've been looking for our new van for over a year. We had a VW Transporter on order, but that never showed up.
We enjoyed our stay at Clumber Park. It was nice being on an actual site again and being able to use the showers. They were lovely this morning.
It's a big day for us today because we think we've found some vans that we really like. So we're off to Leeds to see them, and of course we're going to be taking you with us. Fingers crossed these floods are not going to prevent us getting there. We're going to Consort Motorhomes, owned by Scot and Jane Naylor. Consort were recommended by several of our viewers, so we're off to see what they're like. What piqued our interest is Scot and Jane's vast experience of wild camping. This is the first day of their launch of the 2024 van range.
Having a good week, Kiki.
See that in the stages of build.
Yeah.
We live down on the south coast, so it's a bit of a trek for us to come up to Leeds. But what we saw on their website makes us think it's going to be worth it. And the factory is very easy to get to. We bought our little red camper direct from the manufacturer, and that has certain benefits. We already know a few Consort owners, and they tell us that after-sales care is excellent. So you can imagine our surprise when we found out their after-sales support manager is a subscriber to our channel.
And then as soon as we looked up Consort and looked at their website and saw what their vans were, they seemed to tick all the boxes of what we were looking for. And they have a YouTube channel, and that's where we found out that Scott and his wife Jane have travelled extensively, like hundreds of thousands of miles in their camper vans. I think nearly all of it wild camping, a lot of wild camping. They do three lengths of van. They do the 5.4, the 6 and the 6.36.
This is Scott, and he took us on a tour around the factory where you can see how the motorhomes are put together.
Tanks. In the centre of the van there you've got the LPG, which is fed from this point here. So what we've done is we've all the services on one side of the vehicle. This is obviously your drain for your fresh and your waste, and you can see the heavy duty insulated tanks that are on there, which is an important part of keeping those freezing over in the winter. So Steve has been doing this process for well over 20 years. So he's got the technique off to a T now. So there's as much work goes on underneath this vehicle. And this is the bit that often you don't see, but it's a key part of making sure that everything works and that everything is serviceable. This van is pretty much what we call chassis prep. We're actually using insulation in the cavity of the vehicle as well. So just to give you some idea as to the kind of wiring loop that we're working with, each one of these kits is all prepared for us. It's all cut to size. It's all colour coded, so each of these wires, we know that if there is anything that we need to troubleshoot at a later day, we've got the colour coding, and we can follow that and trace that back. And that all goes back to a proper breaker board, so we know that the electrics are going to be reliable and safe as well.
Both of us very quickly fell in love with the 6-metre Consort Reef, in particular with its spacious rear lounge. In our current micro camper, we can't entertain people, and this would certainly fix that problem.
Again, you can see that the floor is already down in this. We've got all the holes in exactly the right place. So we're missing the structure of the chassis. So it means that all the water pipes and all the wiring goes through exactly where it needs to go through. You can see that there's a treatment around the cut there, so that obviously there's no raw metal. So that means that obviously it's not going to rust. So this has just got the vinyl to go down, and then again these will be ready to go into the main build process on this side of the factory. This van is in the main build process. We'd normally fit got a couple of guys on this one. The main kit actually goes onto a trolley, and it's put in the order that the fitter will then take it off.
I couldn't use the audio here because there was a radio playing, but Scott is explaining how all the pieces for the van are cut out to the exact requirements on a CNC cutter.
Each model is where we do all the carpet sections and all the door cards. We've had moulds made so that this follows the line of the door.
You'll finish exactly for none of them.
Well, as I say, that's the thing, and then of course we take you to show you the finished article, the end product, which we'll go through there. You can see this one's at a point where it's been fitted, obviously. Underneath the bunk where you are there, Ken, obviously you've got the combi boiler, the pump and various other things, and we have another guy who goes through that process and installs that. So each of these guys has got their own individual role. You can see this is in a 636, but you're right that the layout is very similar to this, but what we've done here is extended the boot space in this one. So if somebody wanted a bigger van, then obviously they've got scope to have a bit more boot storage in this. So this is our Nova model. This is based on the 5.4 metre wheelbase. So we've managed to create a full-blown motorhome with a full lounge area, all the facilities that you would expect in a motorhome, as well as optimising this storage space. So we've got top boxes all the way around. We've got the fully insulated doors, double glazed windows, nice big comfy lounge area which makes into almost a king size bed, so the bed size is good. And then we've got a kitchen area here with a full oven. That drops down there, Carol, so you can see that flip comes down there to extend the kitchen area. We've got another one at this side as well. So it means that we've got a good sized kitchen, and you can see here, you've got domestic size washing up bowl, a drainer tray which will sit on there, so you can wash your pots through and then drain them on that side. A tap that you can actually get your kettle under and utilise that way. And then some good drawer storage under here. So there's heaps of storage. For all the cutlery, crockery, pans, all that kind of thing that will store out of the way, as well as this top locker here. So that will work well in this kitchen area. Then of course you've got a full washroom with a shower and a loo, corner basin in there. So it's a wet room as such, so you'll be able to use that as a shower. Full fridge freezer. Easy accessible at the right height. And then underneath there you've got storage for your wardrobe, which you can have as hanging or shelves. We shelve that area there, so you can fold all your garments, or you can have a hanging rail. That one's got a hanging rail, and then we can shelf and box that in to suit. Of course, the other thing that we've been able to do, which I think is important in terms of using the space here, is to have both seats that swivel. So you can see that area there works really well. You're going to,
and you've got a little table.
So you're going to have a sit in that area there. and then of course your table goes in there.
Yeah.
So, and your feet are not dangling. That's the other thing that often happens. So you've got a little van. You've got a dual zone in a van like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you could leave the bed up if you know, in the summer, if the weather's good, you'll probably be spending your time outside. So you've still got somewhere to get up and have your breakfast and use this cab area. We have some storage for knickknacks on the top there.
Yeah.
But you've also got storage for some outdoor gear in there. For chairs and chops and
you
that
just
kind of thing.
you can just stand on here. And
That's the thing. Yeah. So you've got access to this storage here, and it's space that wouldn't otherwise
it's
be
wasted otherwise.
So that's, you know, as you know, storage is critical, and even more so in a more compact vehicle. So we've tried to use every available space that we can. You know, a very parkable, and I think that's the thing. You know, being able to park in normal parking spaces is what a lot
that
of
is
people
our
want.
style of camping.
Absolutely.
Big time, with the panel and everything.
So that's going to be something that, you know, for you, for example, you would be able to, you know, use it in a similar way to how you use your the little van that you've got.
But we're torn between this and the absolute luxury of that
6 metre van. And that's
it's the dilemma.
It is. I think that the thing with that is, obviously the sleeping arrangement is the variable there.
So I think you would get 4.
Yeah.
Whether I can have a schnoz.
Well,
on
that's
this.
what you need to try.
Yeah.
You have to take your shoes off.
Well, look, these cushions come out.
Yes.
With a 5.4 metre van with a lounge of this size, although it is a good size,
It is,
you sleep across the van, which is not a problem for most people.
No.
And it still gives you a good bed area. But some people prefer to sleep down the van, and that gives them the option of having single beds. So it means that they can get in and out of bed maybe a little bit more easily. But it's just, at the end of the day, it's just what's going to suit you best.
Build quality is top
exceptional.
notch, isn't it?
For parkability, drivability, if you can work with this lounge area, which a lot of people can, because, you know, we have optimised that space there to give you a big bed, to give you as big a lounge as we can in a vehicle this size.
So I think that works sleeping.
Yeah, even like with a pillow.
Yeah.
Scrunched down.
But if you felt that you needed that extra bit of lounge space, or you wanted some bigger bed space, then the next step is the
Let's face it,
6 metre.
99.9% of the time it's just 2 people in the van. And that allows us to entertain another couple very comfortably. And obviously the next one, you entertain 6 people very comfortably. I think
You would. And you know, again, that's it's just balancing out what is going to work best for you at the end of the day.
In the Reef bathroom, it has a fold-up sink, which gives more room when it's not in use. In the Nova, though, you get a corner sink because there's just not enough space for the fold-up. Both vans, though, share the same storage cabinet.
Consort build on the Peugeot Boxer and the Fiat Ducato. If you saw our video where I drive a larger van for the first time, you'll know that I would prefer an automatic. Another thing we need to decide are, do we go for the Remis blinds, which are quick to close, but they offer no thermal insulation for winter camping? Or do we go for a set of internal thermal cab screens, which will keep us nice and toasty, but would take longer to put in?
That's a 21-inch TV.
Yeah.
All right.
And
So,
This particular one,
it's a smart TV,
yeah.
and you can now get it with a DVD as well.
Have no fear of coming here to their open day, as there is absolutely zero pressure for you to buy. All of the team are fantastic to talk to and very helpful. We went for some lunch to mull things over. By this stage, we already knew we wanted a Consort van. Some decisions are easy. For example, we're definitely going for diesel heating and hot water. But other things are hard. I normally make decisions quite easily without any angst, but this choice between 5.4 and 6 meters really got me flicking backwards and forwards between the vans. The build quality is great, and if you visit, I think you will get a real sense that all of the staff are invested in making sure you're happy, as they know that's what pays the bills. We really wanted a Fiat automatic, but the dilemma is they don't know when they can get hold of one for us. They've got them on order, but it's not in their power as to when they're delivered. Once they have the van in their physical possession, then it's fairly quick to have them converted. We've already lost a year waiting for a van from another manufacturer, and in that time we found that our needs changed, so we don't want to join another queue. So folks, we have a dilemma. Do we go 6 meters or 5.4? Do we wait for an automatic and have perfection, or get on with our lives and buy a manual? The eagle-eyed amongst you may have noticed that our clothes were changing on a regular basis. That's because we were with them on 3 separate days. The truth is, we've already made our decision, but we would be interested in what you would do, and your comments will help other people who might be facing the same situation. Leave them in the comments, and we'll see you in the next one when all will be revealed.